and then say, hey, the sky is blue. Vosh comes along and then tells you, no, it's pink. And what you're telling me is that you don't want to conflict with Vosh, arguing if the sky is blue or arguing the sky is pink. You want to express to the tadpole, in my experience, with my Mr. Girl's eye, I saw that the sky is blue. But my problem is when the tadpole comes up to you and then asks you questions that, how is it blue? What is blue? What does it even mean to get out of a pool? Your response is, this is my belief, this is what I have saw, and this is all I could tell you. How, and if that blue sky is the label of empathy, how does that benefit you when you say to yourself, the channel of Mr. Girl's goal is to increase the empathy for the viewers?
I don't think I can increase empathy and humanization by doing something inherently dehumanizing. I think that the way Vosh convinces people of things is not just saying that the sky is pink. It's more like he's using a technique of delivering information, combining with reinforcing your existing beliefs and making you feel good, violently good, is more like if he has a device that puts an electrode in the brain of every tadpole and makes them believe that the sky is pink. And the
Right.
YouTube algorithm is like part of this device. And so for me, just saying it's blue and saying like, well, this is the truth. This is my truth. I said the girls and cuties are hot, so maybe you should believe that when I say I'm telling the truth, I'm really trying to tell the truth. I'm not lying to you. And you're saying, well, why don't you just use the brain machine? Why don't you just wire it into their brains? Just convince them. It's true if you're sure it's true. But what if I'm wrong? Vosh is sure he's right. Steven Crowder is sure he's right. ContraPoints is sure she's right.
Gotcha.
Everybody's sure they're right. So how, when I would just be like everybody else if I did that.
And I think you're absolutely right. I came here to talk to you, not to ask you questions. I came here to give you criticism.
Okay.
I'm talking to you, and I've realized that I am criticizing you. And then the work that I have done is because it's not because I hate you, it's because I think you're the greatest thing that social media happened. And the problem with me seeing you and your message being being completely destroyed in the community of Destiny, Vosh, Miss Erudite, uh, and this Twitch Discord debate community, I think that your message doesn't belong here if you stand in a sense that I'm not here to persuade, convince, and sell you this idea.
Um, it may not belong here in its current state, but it may be able to change what here is like. I think, I mean, I think part of the reason my audience is growing is that people find there's a kind of like belabored acceptance of like, yeah, Vosh might have some beliefs that don't totally fit with him being a lefty and he's a little fanatical, but all creators are like that. No creator is going to say something, um, if they have some honest thing to say. They're not going to say it if it's going to contradict their like persona and their corner and their faction. And And yeah, so being contradicting myself or not having a faction or not buying into something like that does really slow me down. But I feel like that thing accelerated by the algorithms is destroying this country and planet that I love and these people that I care about. So I I do think that it's refreshing to people, to some people, to say, well, and yeah, I did just lose a bunch of Destiny's audience, um, and I was pissed at him, but I don't blame him for that. Um, I they are Destiny's audience was just not that upset by the idea of me making jokes about pedophilia or statements about cuties, controversial, whatever. They're like, that doesn't really bother me. It triggers the fuck out of these other people who I think are stupid. So, we love Mr. Girl. He's willing to bite bullets. But that affection for many of DGG only goes as far as as long as you think the bullets are okay to bite. When it comes to women in relationships, I lost a lot of people. They a certain contingent of people are like, well, we would rather you just keep that shit to yourself. We don't want to see it, and we don't want to see you saying this is how I am. We don't want you to be like that. We want you to cover that part up. Um, and
But
to the
you're
to the point where
being
they'll start deconstructing the whole thing and say like you're not being honest. This is performative. You're a liar. Everything. I now renounce everything that Mr. Girl has ever said or done, and because I lost them because I wouldn't lie about this or because they just find it too disgusting. But I think that's the trade-off is that what I'm offering people is I'm gonna be disgusting, but we can also you can connect to my work in a way that I think is different from how you can connect to somebody who is lying to you. So
I
I
think
agree.
I just heard that you are being, and excuse my language, and I just wanted to share my emotion. I think you're being a giant fucking pussy right now.
How so?
What you're saying, the audiences that you have lost and your opinions of why you think you lost is true. And
Okay.
and I want to tell you that it is true.
Okay.
But then you're having this hint of idea that you have to then persuade those audiences back to you. Your worries right now is
No.
that you have to persuade them.
No. I don't think I do have to persuade them. I think either they will um, sit with those feelings, and enough time will pass that they'll say, "Yeah, I was really upset about." Like some people just don't understand how to deal with being like mad. A lot of people haven't had the experience of like following a content creator they like and being really mad at them and being like really upset by them and like grossed out by them and horrified by them. And like I've seen this a lot of times in obviously with my audience where people say like I hated you for months, but like now I really love your work. And so I think some of them might come back because of that. I think at a certain point I'm like you got like if you want something provocative and controversial, um, you 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 might want to come back here and get that because like I do think what I'm offering is kind of unique and you're not going to be able to get it everywhere else. And and then also you I might just fail. It might be true that YouTube just doesn't want this to be happening and social media doesn't want this to be happening and maybe the world doesn't want this to be happening. And I would rather be tiny or fail or collapse into nothingness or be banned or killed or whatever than charm people into listening to me or agreeing with me.
Um, I think that
So why is that me being
this
offensive?
is you having the both way. You're having the both way of I'm telling you, Niju, that this is what I want to do to be successful, not successful, sorry, the identity of in YouTube community. But the way you say it, the words that you use, such as I'm offering, I am changing their perspective. The words that you're using, those
Mm-hmm.
are sales. Those are trying to convince the other people to come to you. You're having it both way. And if you truly, and I will follow you, Max, because I believe there's a way to communicate an idea instead of persuading them. Because I truly believe that that is brainwashing. That's like what fucking religions do.
I mean, maybe you're right that I don't know. I'm just trying to answer your question. So I'm not trying to make this impassioned speech to try to get people who have stopped watching me to come back. That I don't think
Okay,
that's not why I'm saying what I'm saying right now. I'm just trying to explain to you that I don't need them to come back.
gotcha. Okay. So,
Like
well then,
I'm not trying to make the case. I'm trying to you're saying aren't you definitely going to fail if you don't go charm these people? And I'm saying maybe I will or maybe I won't. I guess I'm saying I I believe that people want what I have to offer even if they don't know they want it on some level, and they might never know they want it, and I might never I might not get any further. But like I mean I did this for 4 years with basically almost no progress at all, and I don't think I was going to quit or change or start selling myself or being more persuasive then, and I don't want to do it now.
but you are changing, Mr. Girl.
Well,
Didn't you
sure.
hear the last criticism of Mr. Erdai? You were once a great YouTuber in her opinion, but you've changed. And you are
Well,
changing,
yeah,
and
I've
I'm
noticed.
feeling the same thing.
Okay, that's fine. I think she said I changed as soon as I told her she was full of shit, but I believe that you have a more impartial view of this. So, how do you think I'm changing?
So to kind of discuss about this idea, I first have to present to you what I believed or my initial
Okay,
experience of
this
Mr.
is the
Girl
last
is.
thing. Okay,
All
this
right.
is the last thing now. So, I want to know, yes, initial
Yeah.
experience, how I've changed, and then I must move on.
Right.
Okay,
And then to keep it short, that
okay.
all your arts that you're creating is now heavily based upon the public's conception. It's not your art piece anymore. It is what public wants you to say. And then even though you're telling yourself that I'm not doing that, you are.
Okay.
And that's just my opinion. And I mean, I gotta think more about this. Thank you for the experience, but I
Sure.
just wanted to ask you one more question as an amateur YouTuber and you as a 4 years old into this business. What is one thing that you want to tell when people want to be something that some like a creator like yourself?
It's a lot more fun to spend money than it is to make money. So when you're making your shopping list of all your gear and all your equipment and all your stuff and all your ideas, that part's fun. but actually making shit is a lot less so.
Gotcha. Thank you, Mr. Girl. It was a wonderful talking to you. And as a last thing, as a last yelp of my emotions to you is that
Yeah,
I hope that the public, those fucking stupid frogs that tells you otherwise don't change you, and you need to scream that the sky is blue. Thank you very much.
you're welcome.